What does it really take to be considered spiritually perfect? Well, the book of Revelation sets an incredibly high bar, to have no lie in your mouth and to be completely blameless. I mean, that sounds impossible, right? So let's dive into one single verse and figure out what this actually means.
Here it is, Revelation 14, verse 5. It's talking about a very specific group of people, and this standard is absolute. No lie was found in their mouths, for they are blameless. We're not just talking about being a good person here. This is on a whole other level, a statement of total purity.
But when you and I read a word like blameless, are we really getting the whole story? The English translation, honestly, it's just the tip of the iceberg. To really get what's being said here, we have to go deeper. We have to go back to the original Greek. Okay, so first things first, let's get the context. This verse isn't just some casual description. It's a really profound statement about character, integrity, and truth, and it defines a group of people who are completely set apart. So who is this verse even talking about? Well, it's this symbolic group in Revelation known as the 144,000. And they are presented as the ultimate standard, you know? They're the truthful witnesses, completely pure. The qualities described here are really held up as the ideal.
All right, so to get to the heart of this ideal, we've got to roll up our sleeves and look at the original Greek text. We're going to break this verse down piece by piece, because that's where the meaning really starts to come alive.
Okay, phrase number 1. This translates to, and in their mouth no lie was found. The two words to really zoom in on here are mouth, which is stoma, and lie, which is pseudos. And then we get the second part, emo moi gar isin. Now this is the real core of our question today. It means, for they are without fault. And that word, emo moi, wow. It is absolutely packed with meaning, and we're definitely going to unpack it. And finally, the verse wraps up by telling us where this all takes place. Enopion tu thronu thueo, which means before the throne of God. So this isn't just about their reputation among people. This is their actual standing in the very presence of God himself. That's huge. So let's tackle that first idea, this complete and total absence of falsehood. The Greek word they used here is incredibly specific, and it tells us so much about the character of their speech. The word is pseudos, and you might think, oh, that just means a lie. But it's so much more than that. This isn't just a little white lie. Pseudos covers the whole spectrum. We're talking falsehood, deceit, guile, basically any intentional twisting of the truth.
And believe me, this word pops up all over the New Testament. It's consistently used to describe anything that's the opposite of God's nature. You know, from the devil being called the father of lies, that's pseudos, to the apostles constantly telling believers to put away all falsehood.
And this right here, this verse from 1 Peter, this is the mic drop. It sets the ultimate standard. The description of the 144,000 is a direct echo of Christ himself, who had no pseudos, no guile in his mouth. It's a clear sign that they are true followers. All right, so their words are pure. Got it. But what about their actual character? Well, that brings us to that massive, central word we talked about, the state of being amomos. So amomos means without blemish, faultless, unblemished. Now, this is a word that is just dripping with imagery from the Old Testament. Think about it. When an animal was brought for a sacrifice, it had to be perfect, right? No spots, no defects, nothing. That's the picture being painted here. Total perfection.
And just like with pseudos, this word isn't used lightly. We see it pop up at these really critical moments. In Ephesians, believers are chosen to be amomos. In Colossians, Christ's whole goal is to present the church as amomos. His own sacrifice, it's described as being like a lamb that is amomos in 1 Peter. You see the pattern? It's a state of absolute, perfect purity.
Okay, but this brings up a massive question, doesn't it? I mean, a life with zero deceit coming out of your mouth and a character without a single blemish? How is that even possible for any of us? Is this just about gritting your teeth and trying really, really hard to be perfect? Well, the text gives us a pretty clear answer, and it's not found in our own effort. Nope. The answer is found in a relationship, specifically being in the Lamb, which, as you know, is a huge title for Jesus Christ throughout the book of Revelation. This slide just lays it out so perfectly. You've basically got two paths you can take. On one side, you have self-perfection. That's all about trying to be good enough on your own, based on your own works, and we all know how that ends, right? It just falls short. But then there's this other path described in the text. Here, being faultless isn't something you achieve. It's a gift. It's based on Christ's righteousness, not your own. It's like Jude 1:24 says, "He is the one who is able to present you faultless." So here's the really crucial takeaway. The 144,000, they're not some kind of spiritual super team who became flawless all by themselves. No way. They're a symbol for the entire redeemed church. That's anyone who truly follows Jesus. Their blameless status isn't their own doing. It's a direct result of being cleansed by the blood of the Lamb. Okay, so let's just connect all the dots here. You see the flow, right? It starts with a transformed life. That leads to truth-filled lips, a total absence of pseudos. This outward purity is just a reflection of an inward purity of spirit, a spirit with no guile. And both of those things are only possible because of that amomos, that blameless standing, which is a gift you get through the Lamb. And that leaves us with a pretty fascinating and maybe a little challenging question to think about. This ancient text draws a straight line from the words that come out of our mouths to the actual state of our spirit. So think about it. If we were to hit record on our own everyday language, our texts, our emails, our conversations, what would it really reveal about who we are at our core?